Hello HR leaders and innovators, welcome to my channel and my name is Swati. So employee termination talks can be difficult at times for many HR members, but not to fear when I am here to equip you with all the essential do's and cautionary don'ts in handling the exit process in your organization. So let's join together to have a graceful and legally sound process for the respectful farewell for both the parties. And on this note, I request you to please subscribe the channel if you haven't till now, and do share your valuable feedback by liking and commenting the video because it encourages me to bring such useful contents for you. With the essential steps that should be followed while terminating an employee. Firstly, make sure more than one individual is involved in the termination decision and carefully examine the facts and circumstances at hand. Your decision must be job related and should be supported by relevant documentation such as discipline notices and performance reviews. Termination decisions should never be based on the employee's protected activities such as filing a discrimination complaint or taking a job protected leave or any other similar reason. If the employee's performance is the issue, consider whether you have given them a reasonable opportunity to improve or not. Now, once you have made the decision to terminate the employee, schedule a time and place for the termination meeting. Hold the meeting in private but plan to have a witness present. Think carefully about what you plan to say, be straightforward and provide support for your decision. Give the employee an opportunity to respond, but make clear that decision is final. Employees may react with anger, disappointment or grief, so be prepared to handle this reaction. While you may show compassion like thanking them for their contribution and wishing them well, avoid saying anything false or misleading in an attempt to soften the blow. Third important step is to document the reason for termination and the effective date and keep a record of all this in the employee's personal file. If the employee's termination is the result of a misconduct or performance issue, make sure you keep records supporting your decision such as past performance review. Under the federal law, final pay is due by the next regular pay day, but many state laws have stricter deadlines. Additionally, depending on your location, you may be required to include accrued or unused vacation and paid time off in the employee's final pay. So check your local laws to ensure compliance and keep a record of when you provided the employees with their final pay. As soon as you notify the employee of your decision, go with the employee to their workspace so you can start collecting company property. Use a receipt of company property or similar form to track company issued property that has been returned to you such as ID cards, any electronic devices, keys or any other thing that is given to the employee during his or her employment duration. Take necessary steps to disable building codes and access to computers and confidential data. Most important thing to note here is that employers are prohibited from withholding an employee's final paycheck because of unreturned property, because according to law there are restrictions on employers' ability to make payroll deductions for unreturned property. Next important step on a business point of view is that you need to prepare a list of the staff, key clients and contacts that should be aware of the employee's departure. Explain who will be handling the departing employee's works, responsibilities in future, and identify a contact who can address any questions you may have. Work with the co-workers to identify the resources they need to handle any extra work as a result of the departure. In general, avoid disclosing the reason for the employee's departure. See what not to do when terminating an employee. Firstly, whenever possible, you should inform the employee of your decision face to face. There may be occasions when a face-to-face meeting isn't appropriate, such as when there's a reasonable fear for the safety of co-workers or company property and you don't want the terminated employee to come back to the workplace. In such cases, you may need to inform the employee via phone call, but avoid doing it if there isn't any such case. Secondly, terminating an employee can have a negative impact on employee morale, and doing so in front of co-workers can make it even worse. So the termination meeting should be held in a private location out of earshot of co-workers. Once the employee is terminated, let the co-workers know about the employee's departure and explain who will be handling their work responsibilities in future. Wherever possible, avoid disclosing the reason for the employee's departure. Thirdly, it's a best practice to have a witness such as HR representative present during the termination meeting whenever possible. The witness can also take notes during the meeting to document what was said and what was not said. Once the termination meeting begins, don't delay delivering the bad news. Clearly and concisely state upfront that you are terminating their employment and provide a brief description why. For example, clearly state the reason for this meeting is to notify you that I am terminating your employment effective today because you didn't meet the performance standards. Most importantly, while you may show compassion such as thanking them for their contribution and wishing them well, avoid saying anything false or misleading to soften the blow. For example, if you are terminating because of poor performance, don't suggest possible continued or future employment with them. Also, don't forget to give the employee an opportunity to speak and listen to their point of view as well, but avoid engaging in an argument. Instead, make clear that the decision is final and it will not change in any circumstance. Lastly, make sure you're prepared to provide information about the employee's final pay and benefits during the termination meeting itself. Keep in mind that there are federal and state rules for providing final pay and certain notices to terminated employees. Additionally, depending on your location, you may be required to include accrued, unused vacation and paid time offs in the employee's final pay. Make sure you follow with all applicable compliances and requirements while terminating the employees. That's all in this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed shooting this for you, and you got an idea what to do and what not to do while terminating an employee. If you liked the video, then please hit that like button and do subscribe the channel if you haven't till now, and also press that bell icon so that you get notified on time whenever the new video is live.